What's up? You support Trump?
Of course.
How old are you?
45.
Okay, yeah. Why do you support Trump? This is going to be an interesting conversation.
You want the long answer, the short answer?
Whichever one you'd like. Just keep it coherent.
We'll start with the short answer because my brain works. It hasn't been feminized. Because that's what leftists are. It's the feminization of the male brain. Their positions are born of fashion and not of fact. And they cleave to emotion and empathy rather than logic and reason.
Okay, yeah. What's the long answer?
The long answer is long before Trump was involved in government, we had a deep state. And if you watch Stephen A. Smith or Bill Maher went on Stephen A. Smith's show 3 days ago and apologized to QAnon because come to find out, there is a cabal of rich billionaires running the planet with impunity. They get to do whatever they want. And Trump, by merely trying to uncover some of this shit, has now become the focus of it. Because, again, leftist positions are born of fashion and not facts. You're welcome.
So you're just making the claim that Trump is trying to uncover the fraud or not the fraud, but you're just going to Trump is trying to uncover what the billionaires are doing, right?
Well, there's no question that there's some protection of billionaires. That's been happening for just about every type of administration, and there's a certain amount happening with regards to the Trump administration. However, when one looks at it objectively, specifically from the releases from the Oversight Committee, it established a timeline, a very clear timeline, that while Trump excoriated and kicked Jeffrey out of his resort, the Democrats fell over themselves to associate with him even after the guilty plea for trafficking.
So you said, I just want to address your last point. So who are the Democrats that associated with Jeffrey Epstein, really quickly?
Hakeem Jeffries,
besides Bill Clinton.
Stacey Plaskett,
Hakeem Jeffries,
Catherine Rumler,
Stacey who?
Larry Summers. Yeah.
So you said Larry Summers, and then you said Hakeem Jeffrey, Larry Summers, and Stacey who?
Stacey Plaskett.
Plaskett, and then what was the last?
Catherine Rumler is especially interesting though, because she was such a close confidant of Barack Obama.
Okay, cool. So the Democrats, we're gonna do that point in a second. You're saying you made the claim that he kicked Jeffrey Epstein out, and that's why that's why you support him, because he kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago.
Well, again, if one's being honest, you know that they had a relationship for a long time. It was alleged that Melania and Trump bumped uglies for the first time on Epstein's plane. And I don't think there was any question that Jeffrey was a flesh peddler. But it wasn't until there were minors involved that Trump, being the fact that he was already rich and famous, and that these individuals that get into government, which is, always been known as show business for ugly people, they wanted to associate with Trump. So when Trump saw that Jeffrey was kind of leaning towards younger individuals, that's when he cut ties. He even said that's the main reason that he kicked him out of his resort. Yeah, he was trying to headhunt masseuses who were underage.
Precisely. So the reason why he got kicked out, not on the first time, but the second time that Jeffrey Epstein poached one of his underage masseuses, that's why he got kicked out. Because he tried poaching one of his underage masseuses, not because he was raping children, eating children's intestines. Also, I just want to point out here really quickly. So what makes you think that Donald Trump isn't okay with the sexual exploitation of children when he's done this himself?
I'm sorry, did you just say that Trump sexually exploited a child? Is that what you just said?
That's what I said.
So when did that occur?
Yeah, when he owned Miss Teen USA and Miss USA.
Okay, so you're saying that owning a pageant is sexual exploitation of children.
It's not what I said. I answered your question very clearly. You asked when did this happen. I said when he owned Miss Teen USA and Miss USA. Okay, if you want to reference how, I can tell you.
You're talking about him going backstage at those pageants.
Precisely.
Is that what you're? Oh, okay. Have you ever been to a fashion show? You look kind of young. You may not have ever been to a fashion show.
I've never been to a fashion show. No.
Yeah, women at a fashion show and a pageant.
I don't need to be in a fashion show to understand what sexual exploitation is and to understand that what Donald Trump admitted to was sexual exploitation. I have a question. Do you know what sexual exploitation is?
Yeah, making money off a pageant would technically be exploitation.
What's the definition
But to
of
say
sexual
that
exploitation?
it's sexual exploitation is a little passive aggressive, and while true is really off the mark, it kind of shows that your brain's a little feminized, my guy.
So sexual
We want to
exploitation-
cleave to logic and reason and not emotion
Yes,
and empathy.
I'm gonna adhere to the definition of sexual exploitation, which means an
Right.
actual or attempted abuse of position of vulnerability, differential power, or trust for sexual purposes. So what Donald Trump admitted to in this clip was the fact that he would walk into a woman's only space, so he had no consent to be there, watch them undress themselves while they were naked. So they were naked at the point when he would
Play
walk
it.
in, and then he would call them beautiful. He said that he would sometimes get away from this. So that does meet the qualifications for sexual exploitation. So my question is, why do you think that he cut Jeffrey Epstein off because he was raping children and eating their intestines? When first off, he admitted to sexual exploitation, and second off, he's mentioned almost 1 million plus times in the files.
Yeah, technically, anyone that owns a pageant, including one that has kids in it, would technically be referred to as exploitation. Number one. Number two, if you were old enough, and I understand that you're not, to ever been to a fashion show before, women are in various states of undress backstage at any fashion show, including pageants. And at that time, there are always lighting, grips, craft services, men who are back there mingling with women in various states of undress.
That's just false.
So the fact that you don't know that, and a lot of other people don't know that, makes for a very potent political message.
That's false.
So here's the thing. It's not based in fact. It's based in fashion.
Okay.
Once again.
Just let him finish. Go ahead, Reagan. He finished.
First of all, that's just not true. Like, this is like a dressing room.
Which part?
Can you let me finish now? This is a dressing room for women. And he literally says in the clip that Jeremiah is about to play that there are no men around.
You gonna play it?
I can play it. I just thought you already heard the clip.
Conflict?
Yes.
I don't see it as a
It
conflict.
could be a conflict of interest, but it's the kind of thing you worry about later.
Oh, I see.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later on.
question is, how can it not be construed?
No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now, tell me
Well, I'll
what-
tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the
said
owner of the
backstage.
pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything
doctor. You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
So what he admitted to here is just sexual exploitation by definition. He walked into a woman's only space. How do we know that it's a woman's only space?
He said backstage. For God's sakes, this is the thing. You guys are so divorced from reality that the propaganda gets in your head and metastasizes and changes and morphs into things that aren't true. And then you go, and then you sally forth and share this nonsense with other smooth-brained leftists.
It's just not.
Don't you understand how this works?
It's his own. It's him talking.
He said backstage.
So, would you agree?
Did he say dressing rooms?
Would you agree that
Did he say women's only spaces?
Where would a dressing room be?
Yes.
No, he
yes.
didn't.
He said there were no
Christ.
men around. He said there were
Right.
no men around.
Uh-huh.
He said they had
Yeah.
no clothes on.
Yeah.
Where would
What's
where would a dressing
Okay.
room be at a
I'll
pageant?
wait. First of all, it's not a dressing room.
No, you're gonna
It's-
wait. You're gonna wait. You're right.
It's
Go
a
ahead, Reagan,
fashion
finish.
show.
Okay, you go ahead and wait. Reagan, go and finish.
Okay, where would a dressing room be in a pageant?
Okay, again, you
answer the question.
clearly
No,
are not old enough either. This
Answer the question.
shows, this is how fashion shows and pageants work. Women backstage are in various states of undress. There are wardrobe issues
We
that
heard
have to
you.
be addressed. There are
Yeah.
makeup issues that have to be addressed. But you don't understand this because you're stupid children. Do you understand?
Okay.
He
yeah, so you
said
just didn't
in
answer
the clip
question.
that you played backstage. Did he say dressing room?
Can you answer my question? Goodness.
Right.
Right. Okay, yeah, answer my fucking question for the 14th time, please. Where would a dressing room be at
I
a
answered your
pageant?
question.
No, you didn't. You basically just called me stupid and young.
Completely divorced from reality.
So again, the question is, where would a dressing room be in a pageant? Can you answer it in a sentence or less?
Where would it? Backstage.
Exactly.
Oh,
Whoa.
That's crazy logic. Okay, so when he was referencing going backstage, there's dressing rooms backstage, right? And typically, when a woman is naked getting dressed, they're gonna do that in a dressing room where no men are around, right? He said there were no men around, so it meets the first qualification. And then he said they were naked, so it meets the second qualification. We put 2 and 2 together. We use your 2 brain cells that you have, and use context clues, and stop being so thirsty for a
show he was on?
Stop being so thirsty for a pedophile and put 2 and 2 together. Put 2 and 2 together. It was a dressing room where he would walk in, did not have consent, and he sexually exploited them. Address the argument. Don't pivot. Don't be so thirsty for a pedophile. Address the argument that you just admitted to.
No, he didn't admit to anything that you are saying that he did. You are literally making up words. You are literally. At no point did he say dressing room. He said backstage. Dressing room was your word. Well, no, see, here's the thing. I'm an actual adult. So I've been to fucking fashion shows, you clown. I've been to pageants before. I've been backstage at these places. And again, women are in various states of undress in all of these contexts. And there are men there. There are men that do the wardrobe. In most cases, they're gay. There are men that do makeup. Again, in most cases, they're gay.
It doesn't matter if they're gay. If they walk into a dressing room,
that run lights, that run rigging.
It doesn't matter if they're straight, gay, bisexual, whatever they are.
You are bereft of anything.
Holy shit! No, I'm not gonna allow you. I'm not gonna allow you to be so thirsty for a pedophile. Shut up. Can you be quiet for 10 seconds?
What the fuck are you even talking?
Be quiet for 10 seconds. Are you capable?
I'm thirsty for truth. You just want to lie. You just want to create a political weapon because it's fashionable for you to do so.
So just because.
Okay, you also. Sorry.
So just because someone is straight, gay, bisexual, they can't go into a dressing room for a specific gender.
It's not a dressing room. It's backstage.
Okay,
you are making up dressing room. You get that, right?
What is it called for one gender to take their clothes off and change their clothes? What is that called?
What the fuck, bro? Is your brain broken? What the fuck is wrong with you?
A dressing room, right? A dressing room.
So you were trying to create this dressing room theory.
No, it's not a
theory.
Then
put lights on it and shit.
It's not a theory.
Bro,
a men's dressing
backstage.
room. A men's dressing room. Men are gonna be there in men's only space, undressing themselves, potentially naked. In a woman's dressing room, in a woman's dressing room, they're gonna be in the woman's only space, changing, potentially naked. Okay, those fit the qualifications of what Donald Trump described.
Oh no! Are you a Catholic or something?
I'm not a Catholic. No. What does that have anything to do with
sexual
exploitation?
Why does being naked threaten you so much?
Because it's sexual exploitation.
It's not. Being naked is not a sexual thing in and of itself. You get that,
We're talking about children, by the way.
Are you a pervert?
No, when you watch someone undress themselves, when you watch someone undress themselves without their consent because you're quote unquote the owner of the pageant, that is sexual exploitation.
Right. Do you suppose
that's what he did?
He just stands there and maintains eye contact? Like if you were any place backstage and you had a pageant to do, right? Do you suppose that if you were in any various state of undress, that you would just stand there and make eye contact with anyone that was making you uncomfortable? Do you think that's how that works?
They quickly put on their clothes.
Bro, again, you have to go to a pageant.
According to Maria Belgado, they quickly put on their clothes because he didn't announce himself, right? He didn't announce himself, right? So no, they didn't just stand there. They try to quickly put on their clothes because he walked into a woman's only space without their consent to watch them undress themselves, which is sexual exploitation by definition.
Yeah, Trump has an entourage wherever he goes, including security personnel, even before he was president. There is no Trump walking in unannounced to a dressing room.
He admitted
Backstage
to it.
is cavernous.
He admitted
Do you know what
to
that
walking-
word
he
means?
admitted
Cavernous?
He admitted to it.
Usually there's partitions, like screens backstage. It's not like rooms.
He admitted
You get
to
that,
walking
right?
in. He admitted to
Bro,
walking
no, you have this narrative that you're desperately trying to construct, when I think this is really funny because leftists have been doing this a lot. They are literally holding up the kids that managed to escape Planned Parenthood.
Okay,
Like,
can
you
you-
guys don't give a shit about kids. To pretend that you do is hilarious on its face. And one of the reasons no one takes you seriously.
Can you listen to
Okay.
Go for it.
Can you listen to this quote really quick from one of the girls who was in the dressing room when it happened? Quote, "I remember putting on my dress really quick because I was like, oh my God, there's a man in here," she said. "I remember it shocking me. I barely let anybody except my sister see me getting dressed." And what in that makes you think that he had permission to go back there, that it was normal for him to go back there? These men that you're talking about that are like,
because
no,
I've
let me
been
finish.
to
Let me
these
finish.
shows before.
Okay, that's
I've
great.
been backstage before.
Oh my God, if you don't let me speak. These men that you're talking about that are backstage at these shows, whether they're there or not, when they are, they have consent to be back there. That is like normal for them to be back there. Clearly, he didn't have consent to be back there because it made somebody uncomfortable that he was there. They didn't know he was going based on that quote. You want to talk about people using common sense and using logic and that we're just too emotional, but you don't like use context clues.
Just to add on.
Okay,
Just
I understand
just
that
to
you
add
are
on,
self-absorbed.
Just to add on, minors can't consent, and there were some as young as 14, 15 years old. So it was sexual exploitation because of the fact that minors
That
cannot
quote was not
consent.
attributed to the Miss Teen. It was to the
Maria Belgado,
Miss USA pageant.
Maria
That's
Belgado,
number one.
Maria Belgado said that there were some girls as young as
Number
15 and
two-
16 years old.
Okay, awesome. Number two, it's so strange to hear you say this, like about consent, right? Right? Because you are so self-absorbed, you think that that does not apply to the person who owns A, the building, and B, the pageant.
Question, like Reagan used as
Who
example
gives
earlier.
consent if not him?
He doesn't.
That's the point of
can't- Wait, whoa.
That's the point of owning the pageant.
Whoa. He doesn't have consent over their bodies. He can't give consent over their bodies. He doesn't
That
control their
applies to
bodies.
touching. That applies to touching,
looking,
not presence.
looking, it doesn't matter. He cannot consent for
There is
them.
a big difference between touching and looking, my guy.
Okay,
big difference.
Can minors consent? Just to clarify, can minors consent?
Minors cannot consent.
Minors
no.
cannot consent. So him walking backstage while there were some girls as young as 15 and 16 years old was sexual exploitation because
That
of the
quote
fact that
was
minors
not
can't
attributed
consent.
to the Miss Teen pageant.
Maria Belgado already said that while she was 18 at Miss Teen USA, that there were some girls as young as 15 and 16 years old. And this is corroborated with the fact that he admitted to doing this at his multiple pageants. He wasn't just referencing one pageant, okay? So there were some girls as young as 15 and 16 years old. You admitted that minors cannot consent, okay? So what he did is sexual exploitation.
It is not sexual exploitation. It is the owner at a location inspecting his product.
So can the owner of Kohl's walk into a dressing room while a woman is changing without her or
No, completely
so then
different
what is the
context.
difference? What is the difference?
The difference is this is a media project that he is producing, that he has purchased and is now for profit producing for the public.
He didn't purchase these girls, though. I'm not even going to say
No
women because
shit,
they were
Sherlock.
teenagers.
The
Okay, that
13th
doesn't mean that he
Amendment
can
is
just
a
go look at
thing.
naked girls.
That has nothing to do with it. And again, that quote was not attributed to the teen pageant. It was to the later pageant. It's a quick Google search away. But I understand your absolute fervor
so I've
to
already-
want to be able to construct political
I've already
weapons.
clarified this so many times. A witness,
Problem is
a
they
witness that was at Miss Teen
are
USA.
fashion
A witness that was
and
at Miss
not
Teen
fact.
USA said that there were some girls as young as 15 and 16 years old. Address that.
You're in front of a computer. Look it up.
Can you address what I
You're in
just
front
said?
of a computer. Look it up.
Can you address what I just said?
I did. You
No,
just
you didn't.
repeated yourself the last 5 things
So
you
then,
said.
what was your response in a sentence or less? What was
My
your
response was, again, and I'm encouraging you to confirm it on the computer in front of you, was that particular quote about going backstage was not particularly about the Miss Teen USA pageant. It was about the Miss USA pageant,
We're
which
not
he
talking
also
about his
owned.
quote. We're talking about Maria Belgado.
That's
who was
what I'm
18
talking about.
Well, so then you didn't address what I just said. So why
What
did you
year
lie?
was that
Why
quote
did you lie?
attributed to?
Why did you lie?
I didn't lie.
You said you addressed what I had said, but you clearly
I
didn't.
did address what you had said.
So what was the point that I made? Can you repeat my point?
Was that Maria Belgado was 18 at the time, but there were other individuals there that were under the age of 18.
According to her.
And
according
somehow
to the
that
witness.
means that Donald Trump can't be backstage at his own fucking show.
Because they are
Which is stupid.
underage girls.
Oh my God, there's somebody back here that can't.
Can you
They
we've
sign releases. This
we
is how
have let
this
you
works.
speak this entire time. We have let you speak
You
this
have
entire time.
not. You've been muting the shit out of me.
And I'm
Don't
going to do
lie.
it again because you won't let me speak.
See? But you just
Okay.
he complained about, right?
I'm going to wait. I feel like a fucking kindergarten teacher. All right.
You're a bitch.
And here we go again.
Again? Jesus. Okay, Donovan.
Anyway.
Hold on, Donovan.
I was talking to the host.
You're talking to me,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Correct.
That's what I thought. Continue, Reagan.
Okay. So you just said that it's bullshit that he can't be back there. These are underage girls naked in a women's only space, which he says that means it is not like you need to use some context clues here. It is not okay for a grown man, no matter his like status of what he owns, his money, his power, that doesn't matter at all in this. He cannot just go back into a women's only space. I know you keep saying it's backstage. Yes, a dressing room in a pageant would be backstage. There are underage girls who are naked. There are several girls who have like said that they want to remain anonymous, who have said that they were all naked, and it was a big shock for them to see a man in there. And he can't just walk in because he owns the place. And it was a dressing room. It was a women's only space. He admitted there are no men around. He admitted that they had no clothes on. I don't know what else you need to hear to understand this, but you keep like your responses are basically like calling us deranged and emotional and saying that we're just using it as a political like jab when that's just not the case because he walked in on underage girls naked.
All right, kids. So you are aware of the site fullfact.org, right? It's a fact-checking site, right? You guys don't just hang out in leftist teen echo chambers and get high on each other's farts. Right here. This was a quote, December 18, 2025, from the previous website. Well, Mr. Trump said in a 2005 interview that he would go backstage at some beauty pageants and see women with no clothes on. He did not mention Miss Teen USA or talk about seeing teenage girls undressed. So what you guys are doing is connecting dots on connected to fucking yarn on a goddamn board because it's fashionable to try and make political fucking weapons and throw them at Donald Trump because you're clowns. So how about this? Rather than get high on each other's farts, why don't you use the fucking Google box in front of you and fact check one fucking thing that comes out of your mouth? How about that?
We can fact check it by both his admission.
I just did.
So we can fact check it.
And you're like, oh my God, there's like kids back there and they're naked. Oh my God. You're fucking clowns. Like there's so much more important shit. Like the politics you want to deploy, they're like wet hole politics. Like that's as sophisticated as you get. Because you don't care about logic, you don't care about reason, you only care about
Holy
empathy,
shit, are you done crying?
virtue signaling,
Are you
and
done
fucking
crying? Are you
in
done
your
crying?
feelings.
Yeah, are you done crying?
Oh?
Come back in the app, man. I have something to address here. Thank you so much.
Oh.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Just speak the truth. So, is Donovan like trying to run away?
I'm gonna guess that I was just about to say how much you're gonna bet within the next minute his box is gonna drop. What did I say?